Today we're going to talk about how to not care about what other people say. And sometimes friends and family members tell me, like, how do you do to not take care about blah, 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 this in this situation? How do you not care or whatever? So, um, it's not that I'm cynic, or sometimes I am, as I say. But I have learned. I think I learned from a regional young age. I don't know how old was. I was like around 22 years old. It wasn't that young, but I learned that um we take care too much. We care too much about what other people say. We care too much about our image into others. We care too much about um uh, other people's opinion, or what are they gonna think? What are they gonna say? How am I gonna look? Why is people telling this, and that? People is going to think and say and blah 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 blah. So I learned from a very young age, 22, which is not young, that young, that people who gives their opinion are people who are gossiping, people who they care too much about what people think, and people who is not healthy at all. That's one part. And the other part is that really, really, there is a percentage of people who don't care the heck what you think, what you do, who you are, what you not do, where you are, who care nothing about your life. And uh this type of people is people who don't care, people who is pretty busy with their life, or people who are aligned to where they are, who they are, and as a result, they do not judge what other people say, what other people think, what other people do. And when you realize about it, and that the people who is taking too much care about your life is people who don't have a life, mainly, most of the time. So, or people who love you, really love you too much, but, or care about you, but mm, with a parenthesis, because um most of the time we want to know about the other person, but we don't want to ask directly to that person. So it's parenthesis, okay? So if people come to you and ask you, how are you? What are you doing? How are you doing? How can I help you? Um, I care about you. I feel you. This, and that. Then that's people who really appreciate you, really love you, or really care about you in a genuine sense. But if it's people who's just wants to know because they need to be busy talking or thinking about other people's lives instead of them, um, they're not mainly going to ask you directly. They're going to ask someone who knows you, who's close to you, and who is uh who they think they are going to be willing to tell you, okay, to tell them. And And that's it. So, um, you know, I used to feel very bad before, like when people close to me will come and tell me, oh, this family member or this person, this friend asked me about you, blah, 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 about this, that is about your life. I will get mad. I used to get really mad because I would say, well, these people doesn't know me. These people say they love me and they care about me and blah, 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 but they don't come to me and ask me. And I realized that some people that they didn't come to me and ask me was one because I was and still in some part a very private person, and the other is a reserved person, and the other is that if they come to me, I'm not gonna give as much detail, and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna tell whatever yada 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 yada. So how can I say it? So I realized about it and I said, okay, well, they asked to the people who is going to speak. So that's fine. I start seeing this situation as this, you know. But later on I realized that, there's people who just wants to know gossiping. There's people who doesn't have a life. There's people who do not care about you really, really, really. They just care about the situation. They just care about what happened. They just want to know, gossiping, to have a tea to talk about. And mm, we see it in this way, and you learn to give away your ego. You care the heck what other people think. Okay, you get the heck about what other people say. Because if you care too much about what other people think, what other people say, what other people see you, how they see you, what they say to you, mm, um, they realize about this. The people who want to talk about the tea, um, you start leaving the ego and leaving their opinion away. So, if you care about, this is going to be hard, but if you care much about what other people think and say, well, yeah, stop taking care of what other people say and leave about the ego, because people who have a life will not care about what you do or who you are, and stop taking care of what are they going to think and say. Like, give a fuck, really. And if you don't give a fuck and you take care too much attention to what other people think and what they say and other people's opinion, if you take care too much about it, the sad part of this is that these people is influencing in your life, and you are living your life on their terms, because you are start doing things that you don't want to look good and to have a good opinion, or you're going to stop doing things because you are not looking good, as good as you think or you want at to other people's life or eyes. So forget about that and stop and do whatever you want to do. Do everything you want to do and do not do anything that you don't want to do. And especially if you are completely sure that is not what you want. If you are completely sure that it's not who you are, if you are completely sure that it's not aligned with you, and most of most of all, you believe that you are worthy of changing your mind all the time. You can change your opinion, you can change your decisions, you can change your mind all the time. And it's something that is really, really hard nowadays because, um, we are, there is this social media that is pouring us towards um, a bunch of people. And this bunch of people um, have the right and the ability to talk, to say, to text, and to give any opinion and to about other people's lives indeed. And we have to live with it. No, and there will be many people that is going to think that you are a liar or that you are fake or whatever because your decisions doesn't sound accordingly what you say, or because you change your mind and once you decide something, will passing time and later you change your mind and you do something else, and that's seen as something that is not correct and that you're lying or that whatever. But and this is also for people who are out there criticizing and talking about other people's life, is that we all have we all have the right to change our mind. We all. And if you don't do it, it's because whether you're afraid, whether you are not aligned with yourself, whether you live more for the external to the internal life, and whether you care too much, you're very easy to influence in, or you have no life and you just focus on what other people say, do, show, and not do so. So, yeah, be aligned with yourself and start thinking that all the world, all the world is pretty busy to know and to care about what you do and what you not do or how you show up. Okay. Because once you start thinking like that, you will be focused and completely busy on your life and living your life, doing your shit. And you will care less about what other people say. You're going to care less about other people's opinion. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't give any explanation to when someone asks you about a situation in your life or something, an X, Y, or Z that happened to you or a change that you've done. No, if they ask you, I mean, if they ask you, you can respond like naturally, but it doesn't mean that you are going to hide, um, avoid, or stop doing certain things um because of what are they going to say. Okay, so yeah, and this is my advice to be living a life and not caring about what other people say and think and um other people's opinion, and to live your life aligned in what you are and what you desire, and not care about living your life on your terms, not other people's terms. And yeah, be free. Set yourself free. All right. So this is all for today, and I'm going to swim. Yeah, I'm going to swim. And I'll see you later. Be happy and free life. Live free. Bye bye.